Charette, Design Charette, the difference of where we want to go with the certain things that are influenced by. We also listen to our design professionals. That's a very important part of understanding where we want to go with what we're doing. We have been in the design industry for over 40 years, and we have a lot of great partners. So we listen to what they're asking for, things that might be missing in the line that we could fill in. And then we don't really do consumer data. I don't really like that specific word, but we do internal data. So we'll look at collections that have been selling well and see if there might be something that's missing that could round out the collection, or maybe things that people have been asking for in that collection. We do a lot of customization, so we also look at things that people have been asking for in those different families, and then we often will add them to the collections. We just did that recently for something that DRC asked for. And at this next market, we're going to be launching some new product that they had asked us to do. So.
And tell everybody what a charrette is, because I thought it was a girl I went to high school with.
A charrette is a design meeting where you're sharing ideas, you're sharing images, and you're working with materials. That's a design charrette.
Oh, Carrie. So Carrie, you come from a whole different side of this. So tell us about how you guys approach it.
Sure, so we sort of also use all three. Design intuition is our leader, and then we go back to rate of sales, scalability, all the math and the facts, and the not so sexy part. So we have those conversations internally with ourselves. We're always looking at, when we come out with a product or a design, first we listen to our customers, right? We always love that feedback. We put our listening ears on. And so then we take that and we say, okay, what do we have? A hole in the line? Is there something that we're not bringing to the market yet? And one fun thing we do at American Leather is we always say, do we have a place and a space in the market, or do we make a place and a space in the market for us? So sometimes that's how we branch out from sleepers to motion to stationary, things that we haven't tried in the past. That's where we have the most fun, right? Is when we come out with a new category, something that's a little more fringe for us. That's when we really tell our point of view to our customers. And then for also the tried and true, the day in, day out, we have the facts. So we kind of really use both sides of our brains there, and the design side is much more fun.
And Jessica, this is kind of a new thing for Forehand. So tell us about your guys' approach.
We are so excited to be part of this conversation now. I just want to share with you, this is a milestone moment for me personally, and also I feel for Forehands as a brand, because to be in the midst of these amazing brands and to be included in the conversation is such an honor. We're so grateful to be part of DRC in here. So thank you for having us. To answer your question, we do approach things very differently in terms of, we're data obsessed. You guys, we are always looking at numbers and trend information, scouring WGSN, gathering research as we're traveling, and we're creating our creative briefs and our insights over a year in advance, planning out, working with our partners, which are equally important. But on our side, we're looking at our suppliers and the factories that we're partnering with, the components, the fabrics, the textiles, kind of gathering intelligence from all of those thought leaders and those origins that build up the product. And so we're looking at what's happening with the way that people are living and how that experience and what their home demands is changing, and looking to answer those with our product offering. What's really exciting though is how deep that toolbox is for us to be able to look at the different materials and then scour the world to see who's the right partner to work with us to bring this vision forward.
And Tina, I know you have a whole different approach.
Thank you, Sheldon. Yeah, so I'm Tina with Nathan Anthony Furniture. We're a custom design upholstery house. We work with interior designers to, when they see something in the marketplace that isn't out there, and they're like, that would be so much better, but I can't find it out there. They have a vision that they can create. We will work with designers to create that for them. And so we look at all three, but really we're mostly intuition and design, because at Nathan Anthony, my husband and started, we're celebrating our 20th year, and
it's named after their son.
It's named after our son, Nathan Anthony, and we are are product designers and we own the factory ourselves, so we have a lot of control over the manufacturing. We're reliable, we've been there for a long time, we own the building. So there's real trust there for designers and design partners that we can take what you want to design or maybe tweak a design and we can make it happen for you. So you can really customize with us, and whether or not that trades in the marketplace, we're kind of lucky that if it works for you and your design, then that's happy for us.
Cool. Okay, so tell us about consumer needs versus creative risk. Every brand has to balance giving clients what they're asking for with pushing boundaries, listening to data, analytics, and setting trends. How you decide when to play it safe versus when to take a creative risk, and what's the biggest risk your company has taken? And Tina, I'm gonna go with you because you told a great story about.
Oh, no. Well, we're known as being fearless in the industry. We take really crazy creative risks. I remember when we designed a chair that with an artist in LA called the Bitcoin chair, and it was back when NFTs were just coming out in the marketplace and people were talking about the metaverse, and Facebook changed its name from Facebook to Meta. I'm sure you all remember that. And so we started that conversation about about Bitcoins and digital currency in our showroom, and people were so curious at High Point to talk about it. They even would come in and say, I don't even know what this language is. And it was really an art piece, but what was fun is it opened up the conversation to have these difficult conversations or things that were coming up in conversation in the industry that people weren't ready to talk about, but we were. So it kind of positioned us as fearless and forward-thinking, and which is a great place to be when we have our own factory. We can customize and we can do things that people might not be able to based on analytics or numbers. We are still analytics and numbers based, but the most creative thing was this Bitcoin chair that was awesome and had graffiti all over it. It had mappings of the Bitcoins and stuff like that. It was very cool. But that was the most creative, crazy thing I did. And luckily my husband didn't fire me.
And Carrie, your approach.
Sure. So at American Leather, our founder, Bob, he was the best there is at asking why, right? And so as an engineer, he would ask why. And one of the whys was you can have really good quality furniture, or you can have really fast furniture, but you can't have both. And Bob said, why? Well, because those don't go hand in hand, right? Quality and speed do not go hand in hand. And he said, why? And he just kept asking that why until he got enough I don't knows that he was mad enough to do it himself, right? That he said, I will decide. And so we were founded on you can get high quality goods and in a 4 to 6 week lead time. Well, when he gets backwards from that why, he said we have to manufacture in the United States of America. There's no way to hit that lead time other than being domestic. So he says, okay, I'm gonna manufacture in the US, quick lead times. Well, you can't do that. Why? Because the mechs come out of Asia. Why? Because steel comes out of Asia. Why? Which led to the United Nations that is American Leather today. So our mechs come from Italy and Germany and Belgium because they're better and they're higher quality, and we can hit that speed to market. So what I mean by United Nations is we manufacture in the United States of America. Our factory is in Dallas, Texas. Our mechs come from all over the world, the interior of that furniture, but we base ourselves on Italian luxury, right? That buttery, beautiful leather that's on the outside of our goods, the seat experience, the feel when you sit in our goods is Italian luxury. And we produce it all in a German-led lean manufacturing facility, right? Because that's how you get the speed and the efficiency. And so for us, the biggest risk we ever took was taking that first step into saying, everyone told me no, I will find my yes.
Okay, Mark, you're on.
I think for us, we like to create the space. So we've just been purchased by Made Goods. I know I've said that before, but it is really influencing a lot of things that are going on. So if you're familiar with the Made Goods brand, they have some very specific and very beautiful finishes. And when we were talking about being a partner with them, one of the things that came up was how can we cross merchandise So that's something that's never really been done. We're gonna start offering things that are finished by made goods and that you can get them in the Burton James brand. So one of the first things we developed was something called the Roy. It is a cocktail ottoman with a table over it. You've seen them before. It's not a brand new thing, but now you can get it in 4 kinds of chagrin finish. You can get it in different inlaid horn finishes. We'll still do all of the regular Burton James finishes as well. But this is a way of cross-merchandising. Did we know how it would do? Well, we have marketing of what those finishes do with made goods, but we don't have any marketing for Burton James. So that's one of the things that we're excited about seeing in the future, and that's something that I think we're creating that space for us.
You're on.
Wow.
Jess.
So consumer, ask me the question.
Okay. Every brand has to balance giving clients with what they're asking for and pushing boundaries.